Yo, yo, yo. This is King Lion with my boy,
Jelani Muna.
and this is the Dual Eight podcast. Yo, how you guys feeling on this Monday night? Bro, how you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing right now.
Yeah, okay. Let me give you guys a little bit of a recap of what just happened like less than 5 minutes ago. We were recording the podcast and I was going off talking about the New York Knicks because they won against Boston and they are in the conference final. I was going off, and out of nowhere, my screen just went totally black. Long and behold, my battery was dying, and it just went completely black. And my colleague right here, he was laughing his ass off, and I didn't
Yeah.
know I didn't know what happened. I didn't know. I really didn't know.
If that was an amazing moment, oh my god. I wish I wish it was recorded though. I wish I recorded though, because that was so great. But eh, sometimes the best moments go unrecorded.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me see if it's going to happen again. All right, it's not happening. All right, it's up. All right, move this over here. Yeah, we good. We good. Thank you. Thank God. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Technical. Sorry for the technical difficulty, guys. I just want to make sure everything was good. It's still charging. If you guys see all this stuff right there, all this stuff right there, my apologies and stuff, stuff. But uh, yep, everything good. Okay, now let's get back into it. For I want a little bit of a warning, I'm not gonna go all in like I did a few minutes ago about the New York Knicks. I'm gonna try to keep my composure because I don't want this shit to happen again. So let me go back and so let's redo this. Um, we are still going to be talking about the backlash predictions and some other things, but first I'm going to go into the NBA and what happened. As you guys just heard, I said New York Knicks won, and and I gotta say this, and I say this, and this is how I feel. As the computer can tell, and how Johnny can tell, I'm happier. I'm happy as hell because you gotta understand we haven't won in years. 55, okay, 50, over 50 years we haven't won a championship. It's in basketball. 25, we haven't made it to a conference final, and now we have. And now and then we beat the Boston Celtics, the defending champion, the champion that been dodging us, the champion that was saying, hey, they could say they could beat us, and we whooped their ass in six, and we did it in our home court at the Garden. And I've been saying this since day one. Jalen Brunson is the face of the NBA, the new face of the NBA. Everyone been asking who's going to take the reins from LeBron. Is it Ant Man? Is it JT? Is it Shea? Is it Luca? No. Nah. It's Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is taking the reins, and he's about to take us to a whole new stratosphere. This is the guy who's going to be the face. He's the next Finals MVP. He's the guy who's going to bring New York a championship. And as you guys and if you guys really want to see what happened prior to the thing cutting off, I'll give you a little bit of a. I'm going to get this to a certain amount of views and a certain amount of likes. Like get up to at least 30 views and 5 likes. I promise you, I will drop the 3 minute intro of what happened when the thing crashed out. When I crashed out and the thing just went completely black. So so that's how much this means to me. And now going into this, going into New York, going into the conference final, and now we facing off against the Indiana Pacers, a team that have been taking our heart and soul for the last 25 years. I have a message for the Indiana Pacers, and believe me, I want to go off. You have no idea how much I want to go off on you suckers. I don't, but I have a podcast I gotta do, and I don't need to be having technical difficulties. Okay? So I'm gonna keep my cool a little bit. So let me throw this at you. Tyrese Halliburton. Remember, you think you're tough. Last summer, you came to the Garden. You came to the Garden with that bum ass Logan Paul that should have been released, at least in my opinion. But that's another conversation for another day. Should have been released, at least. But you came to the Garden and you try to rub it in our face that you beat us. You didn't beat us. You got injured. You didn't beat us at our fullest. We got injured. We got hurt. We got beat down and beat down. Okay, and we still took you to 7 games. Okay, and we would have maybe still won that series if Jalen Brunson didn't get his hand hurt in Game 7. Okay, we was better than you, and you came to our garden talking all this crap. But guess who was there? The captain, the heart and soul, the man, the myth, the legend, the top 5 greatest Knicks all time. He just surpassed Carmelo Anthony as number 4 all time as a New York Knicks. As a New York Knicks, he's now number 4. Jalen Brunson was there, and you brought your Brad Nuts. He brought a still share, and that's how much this means to us. You coming back to the Garden on Wednesday? You coming back to our Garden, our home? You coming back and coming back out? Swear to God, I hope the God the damn computer don't go off because I swear to God I'll be flipping my fucking leg while this thing was off. You got okay. You coming into our house again for 2 games, and guess what's gonna happen? You're getting your royal asses beat. Okay, there won't be a Reggie Miller. I don't care if Reggie Miller there. I don't care if George Paul was there. I don't care if Paul George there. I don't care who there. Yeah. Or you can bring every icon from the Indiana Pacers that was there. Okay. For 25 years, you guys been a thorn in our side. For 25 years, you guys been our big bag, and you have been stopping us from making it to the finals or to our conference final. You guys have done it for Carmelo. You did it for Patrick Ewing, but no more. Nah, no more. We the New York Knicks. And I'm not just talking about the New York Knicks, the basketball team. I'm not talking about the New York Knicks, the fan base. I'm talking about everybody in New York. You guys, okay, do you understand we had a riot in New York? We had a riot. The whole police apartment had to unite. Hell, they were talking about bringing Batman out there to try to help the police because that's how much we were rioting over getting to the conference final. What do you think we're gonna be once we be while we in the conference final? You're going into enemy territory, buddy. We have okay. People really think that New York is not the place to be. Okay, oh L.A., oh Boston, oh this and that and the third. Now we we are the place to be. We're the second, okay. Same way how Chicago got burned down, and they burned, okay, and they made a city on top of on the burning ashes. That's what we're doing. Okay, we've been in purgatory. We've been locked up. We've been destroyed. But no more. 25 years of suffering, and now we back. 25 years of suffering, and now we here. 25 years of us being nothing but laughed at and be calling bums, and now we here. There is nobody to stop us. We on our road to our NBA championship. We in championship, and we're gonna do it with our captain Jalen Brunson, with our with Cat Daddy, aka Cat, Big Meow, aka Big Bodega, aka Carl Anthony Town, with OG Booty, aka OG Nobi, with Josh Hart, with Mikael All Bridges. And don't forget about my boy Mitchell Robinson, who just came back, and everybody, and Tom Thibodeau. We are here. We're back at where we belong, on top of the NBA world, and we are coming for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. We're coming for the Finals MVP, and we're coming for what is rightfully ours, our parade, our moment. We've been suffering, and if you think that you guys are going to be able to beat us this time, if you think that you guys are going to be able to knock us down, then I swear to God, we're gonna be fighting. You might push this to 6. You might push this to even 7. But I promise you right now, at the end of it all, you're gonna hear these words. And new conference champions. Yeah, champions. The New York City Knicks. And at the end of it all, you're gonna be hearing here in June, the new reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champions of the NBA. New York Knicks, led by the Finals MVP, the new face of the NBA, Jalen Brunson. Pacers fans, you better Pacers fans, if you watching this, I'm sorry. Okay, Pacers, if you watching this, you guys deserve this. Tyrese Halliburton, Reggie Miller, you guys, if you guys watching this, beware. We're coming for you, and we're taking your hearts, and we're going to and we're going to show you why New York City is the place to be. That's all I gotta say about the NBA. But a little, but but I'm gonna throw a little bit of something to the Boston Celtics, and this is for you, Paul Pierce. You saying Indiana will win this series. You said you said that Boston was just unlucky. New York got luck on their side to win this series. Let me send this to you, all you Boston Celtics fans. It wasn't luck. It was okay. It wasn't a prediction. It was a spoiler. It was inevitable. We were always better than the Boston Celtics. And we are better than anybody else. Let's go Knicks. Knicks in 4, Knicks in 6, Knicks in 7. Doesn't matter. We are the Knicks. And the Knicks are walking out with the NBA championship. Okay? One last thing. Fuck Boston Celtics. Okay? JT, you are the second best player on your team, right behind the former Finals MVP, Jalen Brunson. But get well soon. See you later.
Let's go Knicks.
Now, now. I think that's a little bit, and I think we're gonna move past the NBA for a bit. Now, for everyone who is a wrestling fan, let's move back to the wrestling, and because it's a more of a wrestling podcast, but it's a sport podcast. But overall, we talk about wrestling here. So let's move into wrestling. Okay. Uh First we're gonna give a little shout out to a man who is a legend in the realm of ECW. A guy who, in my opinion, is one of the best hardcore fighters the world has ever seen. He passed away last week, and we just want to say thank you to the man, the myth, the legend, Sabu. R.I.P. to you, bro.
Yeah. The genocidal, homicidal, suicidal, death defying Sabu sadly passed away May 11th, 2025, at the age of 60. And honestly, what I want to say is I'm glad that I was able to witness Sabu. because Sabu, I would say, was I'd put on my Mount Rushmore for ECW wrestlers. Like he is one of the main wrestlers when I think about ECW. Now you think other than Tommy Dreamer, RVD, Sandman, you got Sabu. And honestly, like Sabu was one of the greatest, if not the greatest, ECW legends out there. And I remember when he was on WWE. I remember when he did the leg drop to John Cena on the announce table back in 2006. When they were doing the ECW revival, the rebrand, and everything. Honestly, uh, you know, Sabu to me was like one of the best. Like you don't get a wrestler any better than Sabu, honestly. Uh, just like just so many memories of just watching like Sabu, and also like is the theme song that he would have. Like I loved his theme song. I would listen to his theme song like so much. Like it was so great, and I just hope that you know. I just hope that Sabu's in a better place. And, I hope he's resting well, especially with all the pain that he's probably went through, all the injuries, everything that has happened to him. I mean, I remember reading a story of like how he used like super glue to to put together like injury that he had, like a open wound that he had. He used super glue to put it put it back together, like his arm. I was like, oh my god, that is one of the craziest things I've ever heard a wrestler do. But that's how wrestling was back then. Like even if you're very hurt, even if you're injured, you just toughen it out and you just keep performing because that's what all wrestlers. That was the mentality of wrestlers back then. So I hope that Sabu, uh, I wish him, rest in peace to him. My condolences go out to the families and the friends of Sabu, and I know that he's resting well with his wife, Super Genie, who passed away in 2021. Um, you know, it sucks that he's gone, but I'm glad that we were able to witness the man, the myth, the legend, Sabu.
Definitely. I really, I feel the same way about Sabu. He like it really hit, it really hit differently because like I was watching the ECW rebrand when he was facing John Cena, and I think I think back in like 2000, like after the match, John had an interview, and he said this was one of the best matches I had, one of the best matches I had in my career, and and it was, to me, watching this match, watching his match with John showed me a lot, and it really introduced me to what hardcore wrestling really was about. Okay, I to me, how much I love Rey Mysterio, and I do love Rey. When ECW One Night Stand happened in '06, I did think I did like rewatching it because I rewatched it a few times. I did think Sabu should have won the world title then. I know Ray just won it like a few weeks prior at WrestleMania, and you didn't want to ruin his momentum and stuff. But I still say that he could have had you could have let him win it and then maybe lose it back or something, and then have Ray win it back or something like that. I'm just saying, but overall, Cat, I'm like Sabu is one of the goats in ECW. Like I have him up there with, like I have him in my top five. I think I have the Dudley Boys, of course. I have Tommy Dreamer, and okay, I had Sabu, and I also had Taz. And okay, and if anyone was watching, anyone was watching watching like AEW a few days ago, you could see the emotion on Taz's face and how Taz was holding back his tears and stuff. Taz is a strong person. We never see him cry. It's very rare if you ever see Taz cry like and cry. And for the one moment I did see him really break, and he didn't break down like break down, but he did like you know he was about to. So you gotta understand, like Sabu really has a place in our hearts and stuff. I think he I think he died a little bit too early, very early, and it's even more crazy that his last match was just a month ago on WrestleMania weekend, and it just I just gotta say, like Sabu, I gotta say you a good guy, and also I hope you rest in peace,
Yeah. Uh, uh,
man. Now, also going with the situation, I also want to do this, guys. His last match that happened. I know there's a lot of people who throw in like death threats and really mad with Joey. I'm just gonna call him Joey. Okay,
Joey Janela.
yeah, Joey Janela. I'm sorry, I really don't know I really don't know his last name like that, but you guys are mad with him. Listen, I'm not gonna be mad with the wrestler. It's a gig. It's a paid gig with a Hall of Famer, with someone who you look up to. I'm mad. Okay, I'm not saying throw death threats at the promoter or at the company that Sabu worked at that night. Either I'm just saying like situ- situations happen, and I know Joey would never expected Sabu to die right after the match, right after like a few weeks after his match with him. So it's like just what I'm saying is this: give the guy some break. Give the guy some break. He's not to blame for this. Okay, that's just for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, rest in peace to Sabu. And yeah, I mean, don't harass anyone that was involved with Sabu's last match because we don't want to make a tragic situation even more tragic.
Definitely. But moving forward from the situation with the Sabu and stuff, we're going we're going to be going into a we're going to go back into a topic that we were talking about last week, and that was the releases that was the releases that happened in WWE. Now, if you haven't heard about this, I don't know where you've been, but about 12 to about 15 wrestlers have been released like a few weeks ago, and it was surprising. So okay, and now WWE made a little bit of a statement on top of the fact that there have been a few wrestlers that came out and talked about it. Now WWE made a statement about Dakota Kai because Dakota Kai was one of the biggest names that was released. They said this: I didn't I didn't see Dakota Kai as a main eventer or as a star in that kind of way. At best, she was a mid Carter or a jobber. And why would I keep someone on the roster if I don't believe that they are going to be anything more than, at best, maybe a mid card champion that will be a traditional champion. And when I mean traditional, I mean like they're going to lose the belt like less than they're going to lose the belt as fast as they want it. So that's what
Damn.
WWE said about Dakota Kai, and I guess you could say that about a few other superstars. Maybe they meant that with Cora Jade and Jakari Jackson as well. Well, so yeah. What's your thoughts, bro, about that?
Honestly, I will say that so this is a real statement by WWE.
Yeah, it's a real statement it's a real statement. We didn't. It's not like it came from WWE's mouth, but It came from someone who knows WWE from the inside, who talked to somebody in the inside of WWE. I didn't read it like word for word, but basically what I did was like just I just went through the parts that actually meant something. They also said she was
Okay.
a good worker, so if I add that on to it,
Okay. I mean, I never saw Dakota Kai as a jobber at all. I mean, mid card. I mean, I feel like she would be like. I mean, yeah, with her position, she was. It seemed like she was in the mid card, but she could have been much higher. I mean, she was in damage control, and we all know that. Um, especially like Io Sky, women's champion and everything. I mean, Dakota Kai could have been on that level. The only problem with Dakota Kai was the injuries that happened. And it's unfortunate when a wrestler gets injured because then, time is lost with a wrestler. And in not only just wrestling, but in entertainment, when you're out, someone could take your spot just like that, like really easily. And it was unfortunate that Dakota Kai got injured as much as she did because then she wasn't able to get TV time, meaning that she wasn't featured, meaning, someone would take her spot and, you know, she wouldn't get much attention, much more experience. And it sucks. It sucks when a wrestler is out. I mean, I feel like I just wish that I guess really the only thing I could say is I just wish she wasn't injured as much because like I saw potential in her. Like there was some potential in her. I mean,
yeah,
like I mean, like when you're with Bailey, Bailey, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I mean, those those four women there, those four women are they got a lot. They're very talented. Bailey being former world champion, Io Sky being current world champion and everything. All four of them being champions in their own right and everything. Um,
definitely.
now, I mean, all I can say is the only thing that Dakota Kai can do is to prove whoever said that wrong by going to another company and reinventing yourself. Because even though releases are terrible, sometimes releases can be a good thing because it can make a wrestler go to a different promotion and it can help them reinvent themselves and they can become way bigger than they were before so that when they possibly get signed by WWE again, then they have a much larger presence. They have a much larger character. I mean, like for example, Cody Rhodes. I mean, when he left WWE, he was Stardust. I mean, he was Stardust, and we all know how Stardust was. Um, left WWE in 2016, went to Indies, went to TNA, created his own promotion, AEW, became the American Nightmare, um, and went back to WWE in 2022. And we see where Cody Rhodes is at now. And even other examples like Drew McIntyre, for example. I mean, Drew McIntyre, uh, when he was released back in 2014, he was in 3MB. And we all know how 3MB was. 3MB was a jobber group. Um, and I mean, yeah. And then Drew McIntyre got released in 2014. Uh, you know, same thing. Went to Indies, went to TNA, and then came back to WWE in 2017. And then he reinvented himself. Got bigger, got much bigger, gained more muscle mass, and over the years, became main event level when he went on to win the WWE Championship in 2020 at WrestleMania 36 after winning the Royal Rumble and all that. So so when it comes to releases, sometimes it's a good thing because wrestlers can always build back better. It's often it's a hard way to go. It's a hard thing to go through as a wrestler when wrestling is the biggest dream that you ever have, and you get released by one of the biggest wrestling promotions in the world. But if you can use that to your advantage to build yourself, then you can be a whole lot bigger. So I hope that Dakota Kai can prove whoever said that she was a jobber, um, mid cards, and only like champion for one day or however the quote was. Hopefully, Dakota Kai can prove whoever said that wrong when she goes into other wrestling promotions. Maybe we could see her in AEW. Maybe she could be in AEW, quite possibly, and maybe she can do something there, or maybe she can go into TNA, maybe get a decent run there. And I know with WWE's partnership with TNA, maybe she could come back to WWE through TNA like that. I mean, it can always happen. Anything can happen. So I wish the best for Dakota Kai in her future endeavors, and hopefully she can prove everyone who has doubted her wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Um. Well. Okay. Let me before I before I get into what and before I say my piece into the Dakota Kai and the rest of the situation that I was going to go into with the releases. This is crazy. Right now I'm doing the podcast as well, but but also got Monday Night Raw on my phone a little bit. I'm just screening through and stuff. So and I said I wasn't going to be talking about no NBA. I did NBA at the beginning. Just going okay. Just got a little bit of a text from the WWE and stuff because I was watching it on Raw. Raw. Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know if you watching this live and shit, but you asshole. You pulling up the Monday Night Raw right now. Ain't this a bitch? Like I can't believe this shit. And also I want to do this a little shout out to Triple H. Triple H, last year you guys, you wrote this script. I know what you guys did last year. The Jalen Brunson Tyrese Halliburton situation, Madison Square Garden. Now Eastern Conference opponents. You wrote this script. That script. I'll give you a little bit of flowers. I still say you got I still say you got a lot of your flaws, and I'm going to get into that really soon. I'm really going to get into that right after I say this. But also this, Tyrese, you on Monday Night Raw, you want okay? I know you're gonna be talking crap. They're gonna be talking crap. Don't worry, I'm gonna make a phone. Don't worry, I just made a text message to Jalen Brunson. He's gonna start whooping your ass. He's gonna start whooping your ass. Don't worry. You know what I mean? I get it, okay? I thought we was gonna start the NBA conference final on Wednesday. Fuck that shit. I think we're gonna start it on a Monday then. Let's see how tough you are with a steel champion here. Yeah, I'm gonna be keeping my eye on Monday right and Night Raw while we doing the podcast a little bit, and I'm gonna keep you guys up to speed. Oh yeah, one more thing. Raquel Rodriguez have not Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez. Yeah, sorry, they got the same, they similar names. Roxanne Perez had just signed exclusively to Monday Night Raw. Just wanted to give a little shout out to you guys. But now back to the situation back to the situation at hand with the releases. This is what I'm gonna say. I think it's a bunch of crap. I don't think Dakota Kai is a jobber. Okay, I don't. I think she is. Do I see her as a future mega star, star for WWE? No, I don't. I admit that. But do I see her as someone who, hey, could have a career like I don't know Rey Mysterio, a Hall of Fame career? Absolutely. Rey Mysterio didn't have the world title for a long period of time, and even in any of his three runs, but we still have him as a world champion as a main eventer. That's why I say that, and that's why I'm saying that Dakota Kai could be something. It could be something. And just like my partner says, you guys are going to regret releasing some of these stars. Okay, because I'm telling you, some of them are going to go to AEW and do what Swerve Strickland did. Become world champion, become mega stars there. Some of them are going to go to TNA and might not want to come back to WWE. Some of them are going to be be big enough stars that you come back and they're going to show you, hey, listen, you should have never released me because he ain't can look at what I've been doing outside of the company. So it's gonna come in. So Judgment Day will come for you guys. And I'm not talking about the group. I'm talking about actual. I'm talking about the actual. I'm talking about the actual thing. So realize this and realize that sometimes what goes around come back around. Now